Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing top 10 comic book Kickstarters for the month of August. So this is one of my favorite segments I get to do for the channel, for sure. I think it's great to put a spotlight on indie creators and comic book Kickstarters. If you don't know much about Kickstarter, you don't know where to start, I hope this list helps you. Also, I am an indie creator for Father Like Daughter, and they call her a dancer, so I definitely know the hustle. And if you guys like to go check out the comics, my Etsy store is in the description below. But let's get started and start with number 10 on the list. So number 10 for me is Mañana, Latinx comics from the 25th century. You know, one thing I do love about Kickstarter is that there's so many anthologies, and I think this is a perfect way for upcoming creators to get their work out there. You get the opportunity to market with other creators, but then B, you're writing or drawing a small story. It's not this big ongoing book, and yeah, it's just a good opportunity to kind of get yourself out there and also just own into your craft. And one thing I also really enjoyed about this one is that you're learning about a different culture, or if you are Latinx, you are getting some story of your culture, and I think that's great as well. And also kind of has a sci-fi bend because it's the 25th century. So that is my number 10 pick, and that's Mañana. Number 9 is The Inevitables, and this is a group of nobodies, but one thing that really got me was that there's a mixture of music and comic books. So they made the comic, but also there's music that goes along with it. I believe there's even vinyls that go along with it. And I just thought that was a really unique idea, getting to see different types of work of art together. I'm also a big music fan, and especially if you can instill music into comics. So I thought this was a really unique way to do so. So that's number 9. Moving on to number 8, which is Good Girls Don't Make History. And this is about how women had the right to, how they got the right to vote, and also which women were a part of that. And I think it's great to learn more about history. Also, the artwork really wowed me for this one. I thought it, looked as good as the mainstream stuff. And I always like learning a little bit more about anything. So that is why that is number 8 for me on the list. Moving on to number 7, which is called Bullish. It's a graphic novel, so you get the full story in one. And let me read off the genres here. We got witchcraft, it's queer, it's western, and it's Texas. The setting is Texas. I just thought that was such a unique amount of genres in one. I'm also a sucker for queer stories, and I think one thing that's great about Kickstarter in general is that there's a lot of queer stories that you might not see in the mainstream. I also think this book's black and white, which I think is unique as well. So definitely thought that one was very interesting. All right, moving on to number 6, which is Raise Hell. And this is a coming-of-age story about teens, which exactly is what the title is here, where we get to see these teens actually raise demons, but they're not just demons, they are their personal demons. I think with coming-of-age stories in general, you definitely need to have that emotional, character-driven storyline, and this seems like from the themes that are going on here, the characters that they have to interact with, this will be an emotional, character-driven story. So that is number 6 for me. Moving on to number 5, which is Commander Rowe. And one thing that really stuck out for me for this one, was the artwork. I thought the artwork looked super cinematic. But the other thing is that it's a one-shot. I think, with a lot of Kickstarters, you get to see ongoing books, or, you see one issue and then you never see another issue. I think it's really great to start out with just one beginning, middle, and end storyline. And also, even as a consumer, you don't have to worry about missing an issue or, having to wait a year or 2 years for another issue. It's a great opportunity to get the full story with one issue with some great artwork. So, and that's about a rogue commander, already a really interesting topic. So I gave that number 5. Moving on to number 4, which is Surgeon. Now, this is a company I actually been following for a very long time. I believe it's called Unlikely Studios. They also do Super, which is definitely one of my favorite creator-owned books here, and definitely not in the mainstream. I think it's another great one. So, yeah, one thing I I really enjoy about this is the art. Sadly, the artist did pass away, but I think it's great that the company is still releasing these books that he did finish, and definitely wanted to go support this one. Already backed this project, but the artwork is just amazing. Again, I also do recommend Super as well. I think it's a unique twist on the superhero genre, and just follow this company. They're really putting some good stuff out there. So moving on to number 3, another creator I've been following for a while, and this is Sidekicked. And it's kind of the opposite of what I was saying with the one-shot. This has 6 issues, and I think that's also another positive, is when you get to see comics that have had so many issues and continuing to do their story. And also it's just a really cool concept where we get to see sidekicks are kind of fed up with the superheroes, and they want to do their own thing, and they kind of rebel a bit. And the artwork is really good, kind of classic superhero look. So that is number 3. Moving on to number 2, a really important book, and that is Noir is the New Black. First of all, in a genre that I feel like doesn't have enough black leads, I thought this was a really important book, especially because they're all black creators on the book, and raising their voices for this one, and just learning more about new black creators. I just thought this was such a good opportunity to read, and again, learn more about these creators and their work. And it's just such a unique genre to explore. I don't think we get enough in the noir genre, and especially again with black leads. So definitely want to back this one up, and that is my number 2. Moving on to number 1, which is I Am Hexed, and this book is a modern political struggle in Washington, D.C. So it's these group of witches in a setting you definitely don't get to see enough in comics. So I thought this was really interesting. And one thing just from the preview pages, I believe there's 3 issues already available. I actually got all 3 issues when I backed it up because I haven't read issue 1 and 2 yet, or 3. But yeah, I thought that the characters already from the preview were very developed, and you can already see that the story is in motion, and it's already only 3 issues in. Artwork also really got me in, and it's very bright, which is kind of cool as well. So that is my number 1. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and of course next month in September I will have another list for you guys, and hopefully this helps you to pick out some good comics and support some indie creators. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Definitely go follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Go check out my comics like Father Like Daughter and They Called Her a Dancer. And every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time is Comic Book Weekly. Thanks, guys. Bye.